friends, welcome to my channel. This is Marlene again from Uniquely Elle. I'm glad you're here. I have another flip through for you today. Are you guys getting sick of my flip throughs? I promise I'm going to do some tutorials, but it seems like my channel is just flip through. But I'm just so busy creating that I hardly have time to, upload other videos. So anyway, I am like, guys, I had so much fun with these. It was like incredible. And I think two reasons. The main reason is the kit that I use. I use 3 kits from my Porch prints. If you want to do a pink Christmas, and I don't design for them or anything, but if you want to do a pink Christmas, this is the kit for you. I think it's just adorable. I peppered some other things that I found, but mainly it's just my Porch prints, and I love everything in that store. But I particularly love this pink Christmas. Oh my God, it's so pretty. So much fun with that. And then that was actually the inspiration, the jump board for this journals. And also another area that I had a blast with were, bringing out my flowers, my paper flowers that I haven't worked with in years. Thank God I didn't de-stash and got rid of all of them because, things come back, or, they come around. So I had so much fun, going back and creating some of these clusters. So let's get going and let me show you. I made 2 of them. They have already found a happy home. So I'm glad I'm getting ready to ship. And I'm already with the little care package and everything that I send with all my journals. So I'm getting ready. Everything's done. Labels done. Everything's done. I just need to film so I can get it out. So let's get started. It is a 1 signature journal, which is what I usually do. It's an open spine. It ties in the back upper, on the outside, the upper right-hand side. And I tried again to keep it pink and white. And I think I did it. So there's 2 of them, so I don't know where to start because they're both the same. But let me just bring one up close so I can show you the cover before I undress her, before I remove the presentation. This is the cluster that I was talking to you about. I'm like in love. In love. These are from an Easter project from many years ago, and the flower here is like foam. It's like a foamy, but I love that center. Some of these are Prima from way back then, which I love. A lot of the trim. Well, I'm going to list everybody that because I use trim from from everywhere. So I'm going to list everything underneath. But primarily, most of them are from Boho Daydream, but I did use from other companies too. This is a little cluster here that's mine. Guys, this fabric I'm like in love with. I found it junking around. I think it might be like a curtain, but it's like see-through. It's beautiful. And it tatters really pretty. So I ended up ripping little pieces of it, and that's what I chose for my main ruffle in the front. And then this is from a really pretty, it's like a gauzy pink. I think it was a scarf. I'm not sure. I don't remember because it's just like a big strip of fabric, and it was the perfect shade of pink. And then here I brought these elements up a little bit, and I have one tiny little cluster here. And sometimes that's good. Well, it depends on your project, but sometimes that's good to have like a focal point and then kind of spread like a little element from the focal point someplace else. It gives you a little bit more balance. At least this is how I think. In my head it does. And this is where she ties. This is this little piece right here is from the paper collection. And I don't know if it's meant to be for a junk journal or for something else, but I used it to kind of hug and reinforce my spine. This is the back. I keep the back kind of plain if I can, so that when you are writing in them, it's not so bumpy. And this is that material I told you. I love it. God, I'm like in love with it. And then, what else do I have to show you in the front? I think that's about it for now. And then here, I use some of my old collas, which I love, these collas. And it worked out perfectly because right in between the 2 little clusters is where I ran the closure. And there's just so much going on. When they get it, they're going to dissect it and look at all the little nooks and crannies. And also the inspiration for this came, believe it or not, from back here. This is a snowflake. You cannot see it, but it's back there. These, I love these. I found them junking around. I'm like in love with them. And I wanted to use them, but I ended up, you know, I did use them, but I ended up just covering them up. But you can still see a little bit of it. And I know they're there. So, see, I know they're there. So that's good. And then I use these tiny little pieces throughout. Just like everywhere. I just love that. I love that cluster so much. So that's what the top looks like. I don't have too many dangles going on because there's so much going on, and I wanted to keep it kind of dainty because of the pinkness in it. So I didn't put a lot of dangles, but it does have a little boho, you know, vibe to it. I think it does. So let's get started. So it opens up like this, very plain, just goes around twice. And this material is great to cut up. You know, that you can, you know, use maybe if you want to use them. It'll make great little ruffles. So for anything you want to use it. So it opens up like this, right around the callas. And then all the way around. Just like that. There you go. I got all this pink goodness going on here. So let's just move that aside a little bit. So for the little, what I call my little presentation piece in the front, I just have two things. I made this really pretty journaling card that I love. I used my paper pantry and some other things, like I said, I'm going to list. This is from Tracy Fox. I love peppering her little, I've said that before, her little labels all over the place. And of course, you know, you can journal in the back. This is just plain sorry. This is really vintage. I've had that for a while. And then this is so pretty. So I did use some roses around, a little bit about Christmas. And I love, this is Boho Daydream. I love, did I say I love that trim? I do. Okay, so that goes in the front. But this is the cover when it doesn't have anything in the front. So it's just even, I think it even gets more dainty. I have a little something back here that was being hidden, which I found something with a little bit of almost like a burnt pink, but it almost looks like red. I like that. And he is adorable. I was going to put some stickles or something on him, but I was afraid it was going to rub off, so I left him alone. But you could, I mean, you can keep adding. You can put your own little touches here. And then back here, which you couldn't see too much, there is a little pocket here that you could very well put something in here if you like. My original idea was to insert something, but then I changed my mind. I have some of that fabric that I found with the little Swiss dots. There is a bingo card back here, but you can't hardly see it. It's a Christmas bingo card, but you can see the numbers a little bit. And I thought that these numbers work well with these tiny little numbers. So I want to put some, you know, some extra numbers in the front. And then this sweet little image, she's kind of like sneaking in her little toys in there in the little corner. And then you can see this little cluster here a little bit better. There is this I've had for a while. This is just the remnants of a trim that I scatter around. And then back here I have a ruffle I made. This fabric I'm like in love with. It's pink and it's got the daintiest little, I don't know, the light here is not all that great, but it's got these little sparkly things. I love it. So I got this ruffle going on, then this ruffle going on, then this that I've been using a lot of it. This is from a costume that I cut a little strip off, and then another little cluster here. So to me, guys, is in the layering. The trick is in the layering, to have a lot of layers and kind of go have them blend into each other, and you don't really know that there's a lot of layers. You just see a lot of dimension, but you don't know exactly what's going on. That's how I like to work, and it took me a little while to get it to be able to layer without kind of showing too much layers, if you know what I mean. So that's how I like to work. See, like here there's a layer here, this is a layer, this is a layer, and there's more layers underneath. So that's kind of how I like to work. I think that gives dimension and interest to whatever you're doing, whether it's a tag or a big journal like this or whatever. Okay, so let's see. Let's open this baby up. I'm going to put this back. When you open her up, let me bring her up a little bit like this so you can see her better. I've been saving this tinsel, this vintage tinsel for a while. Let me bring it up. I love it. It's so cute. You can't really hardly see it, but it's there and it's all sparkly and it's really pretty. This little trim, first of all, I created my pocket here. Like this little tuck spot on the side. This little trim I've had for a while and I love it. More of the tinsel, and then I had this little sign from the paper collection, and then here you can hide all kinds of stuff if you want to hide, but all I have is a journaling card, another journaling card, and this is all from my Porch prints. And then this paper back here, this is also from my Porch prints, and I love it because you can hardly see the pink little flowers kind of like sneaking through the lace. I love that. So that goes here. And of course the binding is sari ribbon. Here I have just a little for interest, just a little page. And with the same colors from the paper collection, but this is someone else's. Which I'm going to list everybody underneath because, guys, to be perfectly honest, I can't remember sometimes. So when I look back at the video when I'm editing or whatever and I'm looking back, then I'll remember, you know, where I got it from, and that's how I end up listing things underneath. So here I just have the little flap that I usually like start adding my layers again in the front. When you first open it up, I always like to see layers, whether the layers are like this or like this, but I just like to see layers. I like that. So my first layer is always a smaller one, which is this one, and it's just paper. And what I did in the front, I just, again, did a few little layers. This is from my collection. This is from the paper collection. And then here, look how sweet this little boot is. Isn't that adorable? I went ahead and created a little tuck spot with a little boot right here. And here I have a little, one of these long receipts that I'm like loving a lot. That, and then you can journal in the back if you like, and then I have a little journaling card you can journal in the back, and then this sweet little tag, and that just goes right in here. So you can add pictures. I think these guys will look, there's plenty of pages here that you can easily turn into a December daily. All you have to do is add your numbers. This will make for a beautiful December daily. There's plenty of room to add pictures, plenty of pockets to put stuff, and all you got to do is just pop those little dates everywhere and turn it into a December daily. And you still have extra pages, so there's more than enough. I don't want to say exactly how many pages because I forgot, but it front and back, you have double the pages that you need. So here I did my signature little glassine bag, and I did this little image. I backed it up with book pages and a little strip of sari and some trim. And then in the little sari, I have a little pocket with my favorite that I'm still in love with, the crushed velvet ribbon that I'm like crazy about. Really, guys, I need to find more. I love it. And then here I put a little piece left over that I had from this fabric that I told you all that I like. So that goes in here in the little, and there's something else in there. Is there? Yeah, there is. Another little journaling card, which is really sweet. And then in the back I have like this little vintage lace that I put underneath this little Santa journaling card. And look how pretty this paper collection is. This really, you don't really need a lot with this, with my Porch prints, with this kit. You really don't. I mean, anything you do to anything from my Porch prints is just icing on the cake. You really don't need a whole lot. If you don't like all the bulkiness, you don't need a whole lot, because I think the paper itself speaks, the design, everything is just so pretty about everything they do there. So like a lot of my journals, they're okay to write on, so I leave plenty of room to write on. Another thing I'm super excited about, I found an old music sheet book not too long ago. It was like the perfect timing. I've been looking for them forever, with Christmas songs. So I am so blessed. I know God put that book there for me. So I created a little tuck spot with this little music sheet. And in here I added one of the pages from the You Can Journal On, from the paper, and another little journaling card. I wanted something with a little bit of pink, but not too much, so I think that little piece of paper did well. I used my favorite French script just to add like a little cluster. See, this will make for a great December daily. You can put pictures, you can, you know, anything. I would just, if this was mine, I would turn it into a December daily, but it's not mine. So anyway, look how pretty. Plenty of room. And then another of those little pages. This is so pretty. I see, so I peppered other papers with it, and I think it looks great. Again, that fabric that I found that I love, and the trim that I used in the front that I showed you all. And then here I have one of my floating tags or journaling spots. This is the paper clip that I went ahead and added the little bead that I found. Actually, I have a lot of stuff in pink, but I didn't, like I said, I didn't want to use too much pink because, but this little bead is so pretty. It's like the perfect shade of pink, and it's just, I love it. You can put this any place in the journal that you like. It doesn't have to be here. But I have, this is from my collection. This is, I don't think this is vintage, but I love it. As a matter of fact, I just tea-dyed some of this. It's a little cold, so I don't know how soon it will dry, but I tea-dyed some. I found a whole bunch of it, and I don't want to just keep it all white. So a little paper here for the background. This sweet little tag I turned into like a tuck spot, but I added these sweet little tickets, and just in the corner you can, you know, attach a little picture in the back or whatever you like, or put this on the bottom of a picture. I mean, there's plenty of loose little things, so that if you do turn it into a December daily, you can just use them around. This little tuck spot I created by just doing some layers in the back with, you know, I love using my, again, my brown paper bag. Just did some layering, add some of my, this lace with dye with avocado peels, which turns into the prettiest shade of pink, and I save every bit of it. So I used that there. Then I went ahead and sewed all the way around the tag, and then look how pretty this comes. This was in the kit. It's the cutest little tab with the sweetest little roses that match. I love it. And then here I did a little cluster with some of the silk sari that I ruffled up, and this is some of that trim that I have in the front. And then this created the perfect little tuck spot for another little journaling card, and then another one of these long receipts that I'm like in love with. I think these are some from Sample Design. I'll put it down. I love her things too. I'll put everything down. So in the back of this with the paper clip, I had this. A sweet little tag, and look at the little snowflakes. Can you see the snowflakes? I've had these forever, and I wanted to use them. Thought that went well. And I found this trim I've had for a while, and I also want to tea dye some of it. And then this little journaling I save. Since I save every single little piece of everything, this is like, there's a seam there. This is like a remnants of some kind of a trim, but I saved it. And I think sometimes adds interest, because you don't know what that is, but you know it's kind of funky, it's different. But that's what that is. And that journaling card is as sweet as can be. And then this little ledger thingy here that you can journal inside if you like, I think. Is there something back there? Yeah, you can journal inside. So that's what's behind with this paper clip. Look how pretty this image is. That's gorgeous. Of course, I would use these pages, some of them, to put some of my pictures. I don't know. Plenty of room here to journal on. Some of that ruffle with the little beaded that I have in the front. Here, what I did was I wanted to feature more of this polka dot material that I love, that I found. It's really pink. It's not really showing too much, but it's Swiss dots, but it's pink. So what I did is that I added it to the page, but I left this one as a little flap, so it just moves around. You can hide pictures back there, whatever you like. And then here I made, let me give you a close-up of this page, because I'm in love with this page. I added one of these little things that I make up, that I got to do another tutorial on them because I love them. I have some here that are like halfway done, and I make them out of file folders. See, I make them out of file folders, and they're like that. And then you just decorate however you want them. I make a whole bunch, kind of like neutrals, and I leave them like as neutrals. And then once you sew on them, see, that's what they are. they turn into little pockets and stuff. That's what these are. I have a whole bunch that I kind of started. And I'm going to do a tutorial on this because I'm going to do these for every season. This system works for me. I make a whole bunch of neutral ones, and then I just add little touches of whatever the season is. And I have a whole bunch of them made and they're ready to go, but I've used all of them. So in this case, what I did, I went ahead and I put the Swiss dots in the back, and I left the little flap because I wanted that. I put one of my things here, what I'm going to call these tuck spots, multi-tuck spots. Well, I better not think of it. I better just stick to tuck spots. Okay, so, and then I've just added a piece of sari, and this is permanent. You can put this with a paper clip, but I made this one permanent. And these are all my little tuck spots. Here's a tuck spot, but I didn't add anything, but you could. See, there's a little area here. You can take this one and add her here if you like, or anything that you want. You can add it there. But I chose to do it up here, to put her little face up here. So in this little tuck spot, I have a journaling card with some more laces. And see, that's the back of it. And all these little secret compartments. And then here I use one of her file folders that come with the collection. They're meant to be used like a file folder, but I didn't. You could, but I just folded the little tab in so that it would fit right in here. So it fits right in there like that. But here I would definitely add like something. Like I would definitely add something in here, like a little journal. Maybe I'll do that when I leave. Maybe just a little journaling something in there. And then, you know, once you sew on the side, that gives you the width of whatever you can fit in there. So first I do my, I do my collage. First I do my assemblage of the little puzzle thing. Then I do my, however I'm going to finish it off. For example, this one was not neutral because I only had the top neutral. But here I added the paper collection, neutral. I'm calling these neutral. And then the paper, some other print that I thought went well. So once I do the sewing, that gives me the dimension of how wide my tuck spots are, and then I go on from there. And then on this one, I felt like I couldn't stop, so I added a little cluster here. I have like one layer, and then the little, I love this trim. Take a look. I keep bringing this up. Look how sweet this trim is. Isn't that pretty? Just the perfect shade of pink. I'm running out. I love it. I need to order. And then on the back of this page, oh no, there's nothing. I left it blank. Yeah, because it's glued on. Journaling. More of that pretty book I found. This flips out, but you can turn this into like a secret place. You can fold it again. You can do so much. This is so dainty and beautiful. I love this. This is the paper that's in the back of this, like right back here. That's that paper, and I love it. That's from my Porch print. I'm not sure if it's from this kit or not. I think it's from this kit. But everything in her things match. This is vintage little, this is from Ruby and Pearl. I love her vintage. I love everything about her too, but I love her little French receipts. For the center, I chose something maybe a little bit more plain for me, but I love it. And this trim I found not too long ago. It's kind of stretchy, so it's a little hard. I don't know how, I'm not a seamstress. I don't know a whole lot about sewing, just the basics. So I'm sure there's a trick to sewing elastic like material, but I don't know the trick. So it's a little challenging for me to make this ruffle. Actually took forever, but I did it and I love it. I like how it looks. I did it and I brought it and put it in real fast. I love the simplicity in this because, I don't know, you can maybe keep like an envelope with all of your receipts and all the wonderful things you did for Christmas. I don't know, but you can definitely put something in here. The back of that receipt, plenty of room to journal on. And then here I created another little tuck spot with this little cutout that I love. Actually, this little cutout had like these big bows. The bows had like the ribbons went up like that. But I cut them off because, I don't know, I just felt it was like too much, too cluttery for trying to put this in. So I did a little backing in the back. I did a little layer lace. Then I went ahead and added what I'm calling my tuck spot right here. I love this. This is a cutout. And then I added 2 little journaling cards. This is from my trim that I've had forever. And this is what that material looks like before you ruffle it up. It's just like that. And that's my trim. And that goes in here. And of course, it's a little piece of gold. And of course you can journal back there or whatever. Here you can add another piece. You can use some washi or something and make or attach an envelope. You have a lot of still room to play with. Here I created with a little brad that I found. That's like, oh guys, I'm like in love with these tags. I've had them. I got the idea from these tags from, let me see if I can find them. I got them from, oh my God, I love her. I love her, love her, love her. She is the creator of Curating Christmas. She did something a while back when I was scrapbooking quite a few years back. She started this hashtag. Well, it's not, they didn't call it a hashtag back then, but she started this thing where she started curating Christmas. And it was just I'm going to link her channel underneath. I'm going to put Curating Christmas channels just so that you can look back at that video. That's how I found her. And then she does the most beautiful, beautiful Jill Norwood. Jill Norwood is her name, and I know her. So I'm going to link her channel underneath. She does the most beautiful, beautiful, and she designs for a stamp company, I think. She does the most beautiful cards and just Christmas stuff and Christmas tags. She's like, I love her. I just look forward to her. And there's a few other people, Elise and other people that I look forward to their Christmas crafting. But anyway, she was the originator. She was the one that introduced me to these little, this is a stamp. This is this cute little thing is a stamp. Isn't that adorable? It's a stamp and then you cut it out. And so way back then, I think these stamps are back. Guys, please don't ask me what these stamps are because I don't remember. But I will link her channel and you can look in her channel and you will find it. But anyway, I went nuts. I've had these for many years. So I went nuts. They all say a little different, something different. So I just went and I punched myself every little tag you can think of. And then I fussy cut the whole thing. So this is what I do when I watch TV. So all this and all I used was one little tag. But I will be using other little tags. I promise. And maybe I think I'm going to add, I have some goodie bags ready for, I'm not going to show them, I don't think, because I'm getting ready to mail them. But I have like, I'll show one real quick. I have goodie bags that go with all my journals and all my purchases, actually. I always like to pass it forward. People were very nice and kind to me when I was starting, when I had no supplies. And of course, you know, as crafters, we want everything. I couldn't get everything. So people, and I didn't ask, but people were very kind to send me things that I had no way of paying them back. So all I do now is pass it forward. So when I ask one of my clients, one of my customers, tell me what you're working on. Tell me what's your favorite color. Do you do journals? Do you slow stitch? Do you like fabric? Do you do sewing? I ask those questions for a reason. I have plenty to share and I like sharing. And since I'm mailing something out anyway, and I'm using my mail when I mail things I don't mail at no charge. So since I'm mailing anyway, what's it to me to share what I already have? And all that I'm doing is that it makes me feel so good that I can pay it forward. So that's what I try to do. So if I ever ask you what you're working on, don't be shy. Let me know. What's your favorite color? Let me know, because I probably have something I can share. And I love doing that. So anyway, that to tell you, that's where the little tag, I love this came from. This is the back of that page here. I love this trim. Love it because it reminds me of a chandelier. Here's that. Look how pretty. Doesn't that look a little boho looking? I love it. Here I have a giant journaling card. Well, actually, this is one of the pages from the collection that I went ahead and turned into a little journaling card, and I wanted to bring some of this green down here somehow. So I found the perfect little trim for it. This I've been saving forever. This is linen. This is vintage. I love this dainty little thing here. And I knew I had to add it to this journal some way or somehow. Okay, sorry, back where I was. I think I didn't turn it into a floating one because the page was like the perfect size to just add the tag. So I decided to turn the tag into like a tuck spot. So all I did was I attached it like that, but I left plenty of room here. I made a giant long journaling. You can, it goes right back in here like that. Right like that. And then here with this little journaling, this little ephemera piece, I created the, I have a little piece of something here. I think it's a little piece of tulle. I created a little journaling, a little tuck spot for more journaling potential. So here I found this image came, I think I love her hat. I love the pinkness in her little hat. And look how sweet, this little image. And then another one of these long journaling check receipt things that I'm loving. That goes in there. So, and I think that's so pretty. And the way I did that on purpose because I wanted to see the beautiful designer paper all the way around. I want to make sure that these, I didn't cover those roses up. I wanted to make sure I didn't cover that up. And then here I added a little cluster again with that, my favorite trim from Boho Daydreams. And this is crochet. This must have come off some kind of clothing because I can see, I can tell. But that's the little tuck spot. And then this sari trim here I love because it's the perfect shade of pink. I'm going to list underneath everybody. And more journaling. And then this is for the back. It's the back of the glassine bag. I just turned it into like a little, just a cutesy little page. Look how pretty this is. Gorgeous. And then in the back I created another little tuck spot here. And I left, sometimes I like to just leave the bag by itself because I like how it sounds. And I love the color. And then just a little tag. It goes right in there. You can put something else back there if you like. And then that's the back. So that's it, you guys. That's it. And to be perfectly honest, I hate to let these babies go. But guys, I can't keep everything I make because, you know, if you guys have seen my room tour, you know that can lead you into a lot of trouble because then you don't have room for anything. So anyway, thank you guys for watching. Thank you to everyone all the new followers. I'm so grateful that you're here. I'm very grateful to my regular followers that leave me the sweetest comments all the time and they're so uplifting. And a big thank you to my customers, especially my repeated customers that already own more than one of my journals. That just brings a smile to my heart. Thank you so much. And I'm glad you came and hopefully you picked up a few little tips. Thanks for watching, guys. Merry Christmas. Coming soon. God bless. Bye-bye.